Now let us consider the step number 3, design of lever arm based on bending stress. So the lever arm in this lever is subjected to bending stress, and we have to design this lever arm based on bending stress. Okay, so this step number 3 has two substeps. In the substep number 1, we are going to design this lever arm cross section which is rectangular without considering hole for pin. Okay, and in the substep number 2, we are going to design this lever arm cross section by considering hole for pin. Okay, so let us start with the substep number 1. So first substep is design of lever arm cross section without considering hole for pin. Okay, so this is a cross section of lever arm having width B, thickness T, and this is a lever arm cross section without hole for pin. This is a neutral axis, and as I said earlier, this lever arm is subjected to bending stress. So let us write the equation for bending stress in this lever arm. So bending stress in this lever arm cross section is given by equation sigma b is equal to mb upon I into y, where this sigma b is induced bending stress in this lever arm cross section, mb is bending moment, maximum bending moment, I is moment of inertia, and y is distance from neutral axis. Okay, so we can find here the value of I and y, because mb value is depending on the amount of force applied and or the magnitude of force applied and the length of effort arm or load arm. Okay, so that is not considered here. So mb will be exactly can be calculated in the numericals. So let us calculate I and y for this cross section. So I can be written as moment of inertia So moment of inertia, we can write equation as TB cube upon 12. Okay, so the edge which is parallel to neutral axis is T, and the edge which is perpendicular to neutral axis is B. So the T we have to write as it is, and cube of the edge which is perpendicular to neutral axis. So B is the edge which is perpendicular to neutral axis, so we have to make its cube. So TB cube upon 12. So this is the moment of inertia, and distance from neutral axis is half of this width. So its width is or height is b, so y will be b upon 2. So by putting this value of I and y in above equation, we can get the equation like this. So sigma b is equal to mb upon tb cube upon 12 into b upon 2. Okay, so with this equation we can find the value of t and b, okay, by putting the value of permissible bending stress in this equation. So while solving the numericals, actually in the substep number 1 we have to calculate the value of b and t by putting here value of permissible bending stress and value of maximum bending moment. Okay, so we can write a sentence according to this. So while solving the numericals, we have to put the value of permissible bending stress here, value of maximum bending moment here, and we have to calculate both width and thickness of this lever arm cross section. Okay, but remember that in this equation there are two unknowns, b is also unknown and t is also unknown. Okay, so remember that in the problem, whenever the relation between b and t is not given, we have to use this relation, b is equal to thrice t. So by putting this relation b is equal to thrice t in this equation, we can have only one unknown in this equation, and we can easily determine either b and t first, and then we can calculate the remaining parameter. Okay, so this is about the substep number 1, and basically in this substep number 1 we are going to calculate the width and thickness of this lever arm cross section without considering hole for pin. Now consider a second substep. In this second substep, we have to design the lever arm cross section by considering hole for pin. So that's why I have written here with considering hole for pin, we have to design the lever. Now this is a lever, and in this lever we have to drill a hole to insert this pin. Now the diameter of this pin is d that we have considered. So if the diameter of pin is d, then we have to drill a hole in this lever of diameter d. Okay, But problem is that if we insert a pin directly into this lever, and we, as we know that there is a relative motion between pin and lever. Okay, so that means this lever will oscillate about this pin. So there may be the chance that this inside surface of this hole may be subjected to wear and tear or wear after a certain use of this lever. Okay, so to avoid the wear of this inner surface, we have to insert a bush into this hole. But if we insert a bush into this hole, the diameter will change, the inner diameter of this hole will change. Okay, so now the dimensions of this bush are, the inner diameter of this bush is d, that is we have to insert a pin into this bush, so the inner diameter of bush is d, and the thickness of bush is 2 mm. Okay, so this thickness is 2 mm, so therefore the outer diameter of this bush will become a d plus 4. Okay, so outer diameter becomes a d plus 4, and therefore this diameter of hole we have to make from change from d to a d plus 4. Now the diameter of hole that we have to produce into this lever arm is a d plus 4, so that we can fit a bush of outer diameter d plus 4 and inner diameter d. Now consider a second point. Now the modified diameter of hole is d plus 4 because outer diameter of bush is d plus 4. Okay, and inner diameter is d. Now consider second point, that when we drill a hole inside this lever arm, its cross section becomes weak. Okay, so we have to increase the strength of this cross section. So what we have to do, just we have to provide the additional material on both the side of this lever arm like this. Then this is a ring type reinforcement material which is added on both the side of lever arm. So the inner diameter of this hole, we know that it is d plus 4 because we have to fit the bush inside this hole, so inner diameter of this hole will be d plus 4. Then the outer diameter of this ring type structure will be twice d plus 4. Okay, whatever the diameter of hole is there, so its twice diameter will be this outside ring diameter twice d plus 4. Okay, and its thickness, so we have to use this thickness as a t1 by 2. Okay, generally t1 by 2 will be 2.5, that is 2.5 will be thickness of this reinforcement material on one side. Similarly, such a reinforcement material will be there on the other side. Okay, now consider the cross section of this first case, when there is a simply hole inside the cross section, and second cross section will be with the reinforcement material added on the both the side of lever arm. So this is a original cross section where the diameter of this lever arm cross section, the diameter of this hole is d. Okay, width is b and thickness is t. So this is the original cross section without considering the reinforcement material, and this cross section is weak. Okay, now we have to modify this cross section. In order to modify the cross section, we have to increase the thickness by keeping this width b constant. Okay, or same. So this width remains same for modified cross section. The original thickness is t, that means this is the area of original lever arm. Okay, original cross section of lever arm. We have to increase the thickness on both the sides. So t1 by 2 on left side and t1 by 2 thickness added on the right side. Okay, then this is the inner diameter of hole. The inner diameter of hole, we know that it is d plus 4 because we have to fit a bush of outer diameter d plus 4 into this hole, so outer diameter must be d plus 4. Then this ring type structure, the diameter of this ring type structure is twice d plus 4, so this diameter is twice d plus 4. Okay, so thickness we have increased on both the side, t1 by 2 on each side of this lever arm. That is, on the left side we have added the thickness t1 by 2, on the right side we have added the thickness t1 by 2, and the diameter of this ring is twice d plus 4, and we have modified the hole of this into this lever arm, and the diameter of hole is d plus 4. Okay, now what we have to do, we have to check the bending stress for this modified cross section. Now we know that the bending stress equation is given by sigma b is equal to mb upon I into y, equation number 1. Now here bending moment MB, maximum bending moment MB, is independent of this cross section. Okay, it depends on the force and perpendicular distance between force and the point at which we want to determine the bending moment. Okay, so this bending moment will not change, it will remain same as with respect to case number 1. It is depend on the force and perpendicular distance. Here we cannot put exactly the value of or equation of MB. Then the second is y. So y is equal to distance from neutral axis, as this is the neutral axis, and y will be half of this width b. So y is equal to b upon 2. Now last is moment of inertia. Now the moment of inertia will change because the cross section has been changed. Okay, so what we have to do first, we have to consider this total area first as a solid, and then we have to subtract the moment of inertia of this hole. Okay, again I will repeat. First of all, we have to consider the moment of inertia by considering this total cross section as a solid, and then we have to subtract the moment of inertia of this hole. So first of all, we will consider the solid area, and then we will write the moment of inertia for solid part. Now this middle portion has a thickness T and width B. So middle portion has moment of inertia TB cube upon 12, thickness T, width B, TB cube upon 12 by considering solid. Plus consider this small rectangle having thickness T1 by 2 and width as twice D plus 4. Again I will repeat, this is a rectangular area. Consider this rectangular area having thickness T1 by 2 and width twice D plus 4. So its moment of inertia will be T1 by 2, because this T1 by 2 edge is parallel to neutral axis as it is, and cube of this side which is perpendicular to neutral axis. So twice D plus 4 cube upon 12. Okay, plus we have to consider this rectangular area, okay, having thickness T1 by 2 and width twice D plus 4. So the edge which is parallel to neutral axis is T1 by 2, which is as it is, and the edge which is perpendicular to neutral axis, we have to make the cube. So this edge having dimension twice D plus 4 is perpendicular to neutral axis, so therefore we have to make its cube. So twice into D plus 4 cube upon 12. Now this 3 moment of inertia represents the moment of inertia of this cross section by considering it as a solid. Now we have to subtract the moment of inertia of this hole. Okay, so we have to minus. Now consider total edge parallel to neutral axis. So this total edge dimension will be T plus T1 by 2 plus T1 by 2. So we can write directly T plus T1. Okay, so this is the edge which is parallel to neutral axis, T plus T1 by 2 plus T1 by 2, that means it is T plus T1. Okay, and the edge which is perpendicular to neutral axis is this distance, that is D plus 4. So we have to make the cube of this side, that is D plus 4, because it is perpendicular to neutral axis. So D plus 4 cube upon 12. So this is the moment of inertia for this modified cross section. Now just we can modify this equation. We can add these terms because we can take the common T1 by 2. T1 by 2 is common, twice D plus 4 cube upon 12, twice D plus 4 upon cube upon cube 12, cube upon 12 is common, so we can add this. So TB cube upon TB cube upon 12 as it is, and T1 by 2 plus T1 by 2 is T1, and this remaining term is same, twice D plus 4 cube upon 12. So this term we have added, and minus this term as it is, T plus T1 D plus 4 cube upon 12. So this is the moment of inertia for this modified cross section. If we put this I into this equation, y b by 2 in this equation, we can calculate the bending stress, and we have to compare this induced bending stress with the permissible bending stress. Okay, and for the safe design, induced bending stress must be less than permissible bending stress. That means in this sub-step number 2, we are not going to find out any dimension, just we are going to find out the bending stress for this modified cross section. And for this modified cross section, y is equal to b upon 2, and moment of inertia for this modified cross section is this equation. Okay, so by putting the value of TB, which is calculated in the sub-step number 1, T1 as 5, okay, and D, which is calculated in the step number 2, we can calculate this moment of inertia for this modified cross section. Put the value of I here, y b upon 2, b already we have calculated from the step number 3, and mb, force into perpendicular distance. This mb is nothing but the maximum bending moment, which can be calculated from the force and the perpendicular distance from the point at which bending moment is maximum. So finally you will get the value of induced bending stress, and this induced bending stress must be less than permissible bending stress. Then and then only we can say that this design of lever is safe. So this is about the design procedure of lever.